Hey, what's up guys? And today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on the mob grinder, and as you can see I am out kind of a ways from all the land. When you build a mob tower you want to be away from land, and I see an island coming up there, so we want to be kind of in the middle. What this does is it helps lower the spawn rate around you. And so I'm on creative mode, obviously. You can see I've got everything at my disposal here, and what we're going to start off with is what you see down. We're going to start with cobblestone. So what we're going to do is you need to go all the way to the ground. Just pick a random spot and just start building upwards as you go up. The good thing about creative mode is you won't run out of air, and if you tap the space bar you can move or fly, I should say. And so this one little cobblestone is what's going to help us build the whole platform. So we are, if you push shift and S, which is backwards, you're not going to fall off the block. So press the right click button and hold it down and count to 20. So we already got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so that's one complete side, and you don't need to build it all the way to the ground and do another 20. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we should be perfectly matched up, and it looks like we're not. So I gotta count this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I might have counted one too many on this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so yeah, we did go one over. So, and then the last one you don't even need to count. You just do it till you match up to your first one. Okay, so now we're matched up, and don't worry about building the bottom platform yet. What we're going to do is we're going to build upwards. So I actually don't count this part. What I do is I go all the way to the top. I'll show you. Now remember, you got to be in creative mode, or you can use single player commands to do this. So obviously when you get to the top you can't do anymore, and so I just drop and I go to the next one. Alright, and just jump out it and build up again. And I've got to clarify, this design is not my original idea. After seeing a few videos of mob grinders, I've kind of switched them up around and kind of implemented, you know, my own style to it. You know, this actual style is one of those that I saw that actually had mobs fall out of the corners. And I didn't want that because I wanted it to be simple. I wanted them all to fall out of the same area. And with that, I decided to make everything flow to the center. So I'm going to show you guys here in a second how I do that. And if there's somebody that has done this before me, you know, I could definitely, you know, give them credit for it, because, you know, all these ideas that I've put into one were all borrowed, so I can't claim full, you know, the brains behind the whole operation. I just can't. So what we're doing now is just connecting the top. And by simply holding down shift and pointing the crosshair to the edge of the block and holding right click down on your mouse, you know, your computer will do all the work for you rather than laying them one by one. Okay, so everything's connected. So one thing we're going to change, you're going to have to do is don't build up to the top. Break one down. That way you can do these half stones. So what I'm going to do under this half stone is I'm going to go back up. I'm going to count 2. Oops, not the wrong one. Okay. Okay, connect that. Oops, kind of going crazy. Oops. The sun's going down. I might have to light it up for us. Okay, so I'm going to want to break all these up because this very top layer has to be the half stone. Okay, so let's worry about building the bottom platform. Basically what I like to do is I like to get as close as I can and then build by doing threes. I've noticed that creative mode can sometimes be a pain, only because sometimes it doesn't match up. It doesn't match up where you want the block to go, so you're clicking and it just does not want to place. So, and I could be close and the right distance I need to be, but it just doesn't want to go. So not sure if anyone else has noticed that. Can't complain though. It is creative mode after all, which is, basically cheating. This grinder will be great for a multiplayer map. Why? Because it generates so much that everybody can survive pretty good. Maybe a little bit further back. Come on. See, that's what I mean. Just does not want to stay. Now obviously if you had single player commands, you can use the world edit commands to build the floor, but I'm gonna do it this way, that way you guys can see how to do it without a mod. That way if you're not comfortable with using a mod and you're afraid that because some mods can mess up your world. That's what I've heard from rumor, so I'm sure it's probably fact as well. I've used several mods. I've used single player commands. I have used Mo creatures. I've used several. I saw a new one recently called Dynamic Light. Pretty cool. You can actually use a torch as a flashlight. Really cool looking. So I will put the link to that one. Okay, so we have created a solid platform here, and what you're going to want to do is build up the ceiling for you. Probably should be doing this in like time lapse, but I'm not. It'll just be kind of a long video. So I don't want to do the ceiling yet because that's going to block out a lot of light. So what I'm going to do is what we're going to do here is find the center, and what you do is you find the corner. So this is one block, that's the other block, and you just go in not a straight line, but straight towards your other corner. And actually I could stop there. Then you find your other corner and move. And what's going to be neat is your corner will form a square. And then what I do is I break down the ones around it and build or break below that. And so now we got our center. So what we're going to do is start building the canals. So I'm going to get to fly mode. Wish it was kind of like single player commands where you don't have to press anything. And build that way. This way we don't lose the center. And those ones, okay. So you're gonna break the blocks all the way to the last one. And then we're gonna go under. You're gonna do 2 or 3. You're gonna do 2 below the 1. That way it's gonna be 2 deep, 2 blocks deep under the platform. And I'd like to build all the way to the other side. That way we don't really waste time. Okay, so I went too far already. And we'll do the same here. 2, 1, 2. Got the sun coming up, which is nice. Okay. Do another 2. And on the last one, let's go build outward. And then build that one in. And then this part, you just pick the edge. Same here. Okay. So you're going to come up here, and now you're going to see that, oh, I didn't do the other side. Okay. And I didn't do that side either. Okay. Okay, now I got it complete. So now we have a canal that is 2 blocks deep all the way around. And what you're going to see is when you're down here, you're going to count to make sure you've done it right. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And after the 8th one is going to be the center. And so what water does is water flows 8 blocks and then it stops. So you're going to drop water here, and you'll see that 1 block doesn't fill in, but that's because you haven't done the other side yet. So you fill that up towards flat and the water ends there. So you do that to every corner. Do it to both. So there you got that. And now what we're going to want to do is build up our walls. That's the main concept for this mob grinder, or sky trap, whatever you feel like calling it. And this is in 1.8 created world. I just noticed that 1.9 pre-release has been released, thus the pre-release. And if you happen to download that and play with it, you have noticed that there are new mobs. There are NPC mobs in the villages now. The Nether has new mobs, which are actually quite frightening. The fire throwing ones, pretty cool. Minecraft is really evolving. It's wonderful. Now, one problem I've noticed, I don't even know if it's a bug or not, but I don't know if it was meant to be, but when you put a torch on cobblestone, what I have noticed is once you remove that torch, you've still got this glowing light on the cobblestone, and I have found a way to eradicate that light, and I'll show you guys in a second, because pretty soon I'm going to build the ceiling, and with the ceiling coming up, we want light. So and you're probably asking yourself why the half stone for the top, and the reason behind that is I've heard, and it seems to work, Um, it prevents mobs from spawning on the top of the tower, the very top, not on the level we just built. They'll still form on that. So instead, like I typically do, I build 3. Had an itch on my nose. They're gonna start getting dark. On this level. So a lot of people have noticed, if they had a mob grinder, that the old design, where it was, I think, 3 blocks high, that was actually not something most people desired because of the Enderman. If you don't know much about the Enderman remove blocks, and basically what was happening was, in the regular style mob grinder, the Enderman would spawn, they would remove a block, and that would leave light or water to, it would either allow light to seep in, or it would allow water to fall out, and that's not a good thing. So it's getting dark. I'm going to put some torches out. Not really that necessary, but for video purposes it is. What you're going to do is you're going to continue to build the ceiling until you got it all the way done. Try not to fall down. So, quick little review. Your platform and to the ceiling is only going to be 2 blocks. The Enderman require 3 blocks to spawn, and what's great is the skeletons, the zombies, the creepers, and the spiders all can spawn in a 2 block high build, or whatever you want to call that. Okay, so we've got the top layer done, and I'll show you guys what I mean by the water sticking around. As you can see over there, it's perfectly dark, and I'm going to break that, and I can't tell right now, but when I break this light, you're still going to see a little bit of light. See that? Hopefully you guys can see that. So what you do is you get water and you put it where you see the light illuminating, and use an empty bucket to grab it back up. So here again is more water. So you put the water on it until all the light's gone, and as you can see, we still got over here an area. Put water on it and it'll go dark. So if you do have to use torches, this is a good way to get rid of the light. Just remember that you grab the water, pick it back up with an empty bucket. So this whole top level is done. You just go ahead and fall down. What that is so if you're on creative mode, don't worry about seeing mobs or anything. They can't hurt you, which is nice. And what we're gonna do now is build the bottom floor. I'm gonna put some torches out. And if these mobs start bothering you, just grab out a good old trusty sword. And kill them. But just like we built the ceiling, in fly mode, we're gonna build the bottom. It's a very time-consuming process. It's already been 3 Minecraft days. What I like to do is, I like to put on some dubstep and then build. Makes the process more enjoyable. Now, if you had single player commands and rolled it, boy, you could have this done in the first, 5 minutes of this video. So as long as you know how to set blocks and copy and paste and everything. So we got the mobs spawning up top, which is a good sign. But the problem is they're gonna keep interrupting us. So even though we're on creative mode, we don't want them to really spawn. So if you end up doing this and you're gonna leave it on easy or normal or hard, build the bottom first. That way when they spawn and they fall out the hole from just the very top, they'll die. So So an interesting thing that's supposed to happen to tonight or early this morning is that UARS satellite is supposed to land, and they could land. It keeps changing where they think it's going to land, which is not very good to know, but it could land in Africa, it could land in Canada or North America, which is, you know, like the US and stuff. I have a feeling it'll land in the US, but I could be wrong. It's gonna be a pretty big object that's gonna fall down. You know, what they say is by the time it burns up in the atmosphere, what'll be left is, you know, a 300-pound chunk of the satellite left. That's pretty heavy. So if that falls on the ground somewhere, that's gonna leave a nice little indent. And if, you know, if that thing hits a house, that's gonna be crazy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So we almost got this bottom done, and then we could turn on the trap and see how good it turns out. And then I'll start showing you how to optimize the trap. Alright. So we basically got this thing done. Grab the torches, and now we want to light this whole area up. Why? Because we don't want anything to spawn here. So that's more than enough torches. And let's go ahead and turn it on. Oops, don't want the video settings. We'll go to easy. And then what you want to do is press F3 and point your crosshair upward. And if everything is good, you're going to see a number appear next to the E, to the immediate right of the E. And so right now we don't have anything spawning. Let me make sure that I'm on easy. Yes. And what you want to do is confirm that it's completely dark in there. So we're going to go in, look around, and yes, you probably can't see anything on the video, but it's completely dark in there. And as you can see, if I'm pointing around, you could see that number change, which is next to the E. There's a 0 in this area, which is great, because that means there's no mob spawning. But the problem here now that we're faced with is that the spawn rate around this area is so high that you're not getting anything to spawn in here. So just to retest, we're going to go back to peaceful. That way we despawn everything. That way all the mobs that were spawned are no longer spawned. And go back to easy. Okay, so we've jump started it, and as you can see, there's 4 mobs in here now. That's not a good number for one level. And as you can see, they fall through pretty fast. Okay, so 0. See if it jumps back up. See if they respawn in that area. This is one of the problems about 1.8 is there's ravines and there's abandoned mine shafts, and they will be a pain to make a good spawner. What they will do is make it to where your mob spawner will not respawn the mobs and stuff. So I do need to show you guys that this bottom layer right here, when you are ready to build your next level, you want to fill this in. You don't want to build your next level with this as your ceiling. If you do, you're going to get the Enderman spawning, and you don't want that. So fill this in. Okay, and once you get that done completely all the way around, this can be your blueprint for single player commands to copy. So basically this will be position 1, and then you'll go to the other side, and then this block here is going to be position 2. You don't want to click up here on the half stone, because then your ceiling on every floor is going to be a half stone, and that's not necessary. So this will be your position 2 from your wand. Then you click copy, then you come back down, and from about this area you use a world edit paste, and it should paste itself right below. So and actually with the block, if you've filled it in, you'll actually want to stand down here, actually right here. That way everything starts on this level. So let's go down. Let's see what we've got on the ground. So you've got what's that? Five gunpowder. And as you can see, nothing is respawning, but this is perfectly normal. perfectly normal. The problem is with the 1.8 world, like I said earlier, is ravines, and 100% there's a ravine or abandoned mine shaft right below. So what I like to do is I like to just fall straight down and then place above you. Not that it matters on creative world, but so what we're doing here is looking for a tunnel. And I'm not going to do the complete workaround. Once you see this, guys, the very bottom, you don't want to dig anymore, because you may not think it, but you can die in creative mode, and that's by falling straight down. But with F3 on, you're going to want to find where your mobs are. So as we can see in this direction, there's 3. Oh, now 2. Now 4. Oh, look at that, diamond. So if you want a diamond, you can't get it because you're in creative mode. So we still see 6. Pretty soon we'll be hitting a cave. Now what you guys could do is, if you have a good ear, you can listen for the mobs. I think I heard one just a second ago. Okay, so he sounds like he's really close. Sounds like it's spawner. Oh yeah, these guys are close. Nice little chunk of diamond here. So, so like I figured, it's a spawner. And this is a very good reason why your mob trap doesn't really spawn good. That's because you've got all of these zombies spawning. So in creative mode, it just takes one punch to kill the spawner. And if they bother you enough, you kill all of them. So, oops, I didn't want to drop water, but and you stare at give a good look at them, make them pissed off. But what you're gonna see, oh, there's quite a bit in here. Once you find one of these caves, you really want to take the time to just go crazy and light the whole thing up. I just hold the right mouse button and let these torches do all the work. And as you can see, this is a very big, wide area. And it looks like a abandoned cave mine. But you don't see any of that yet, but see this huge whole area. Anywhere that these can spawn, which is in the dark, and you know, in these caves. Come on, explode. So as you can see, there's a lot of dark areas in here, and you're gonna have to find all these areas. That way, come on, let it explode. That's the one thing I love about creative mode is you can take anything these mobs want to throw at you. So I'm gonna build my way out. Get out of the water. Get back here. So I lit up that cave, and as you can see, we're getting more things to spawn. So this might actually spawn more mobs more often. So we're gonna see when this thing gets down low in numbers, if it's gonna go back up. Down to 1. Okay, now it's at 0. Let's see if it allows more things to respawn. So again, we're watching the number to the right of the E. That's a 0. And actually, I didn't kill those creepers or any of those things that we saw down there in the cave. So what we want to do is despawn everything. So now all the areas that we lit up, when we allow mobs to spawn again, they won't spawn there. So it should higher up our number than 4, which will be pretty cool. So we're at 2. Okay, so it should still climb higher. Okay, so this is one of those things to where you are still going to have to do quite a bit of work finding caves that are below, and it's not one of those things to where you're just gonna build a mob trap and then enjoy all the benefits. You have to do work, and by work I mean a lot of work. Okay, see, almost went too far. That's where I went down previously. So, as you can see, there's one ahead, 0, 3, 3 ahead, so we want to go that way. This is kind of one of those times where you don't want to have music playing, because you want to hear for the mobs. Okay, so as you can see, we're seeing 18 right now. That's a huge number. Very huge number. And this is how you find these areas. So again, we've got quite a big area, a huge area actually. Yeah, it's a pretty big area. So all these mobs that you're seeing, these make it to where your mob spawner doesn't, spawn them. Yeah, all these dark areas that you're seeing is where these mobs can spawn. So you want to really light up this whole area. Even up here, where all this gravel is. Kind of want to dig through this to see what goes on the other side of it. Don't worry about lava. You can stand in lava in creative mode. Once you get out of it, the flame animation goes away. So yeah, this huge area is an enemy to your mob spawner. So as much as some of you might think that that the mob spawner is a fail because it's not recharging, that's completely the wrong idea. When I first built the mob tower that you saw in my previous video, I had the same exact problem. And what I learned is that there were ravines and mine shafts, and I had to spend hours, literal hours, finding them. And there you go. There's your ravine. This is why your mob tower is not spawning continually. This huge ravine is your enemy. And this one's actually pretty big. huge one. What I like to do is I like to pick certain layers of the height. Also like to find where the water comes from and try to block it. Water's a pain. As you see, that'll actually dry up the area pretty good. So yeah, I suspected the whole time there was a ravine. Because had this been in a 1.7 world, you know, you would basically start out and your trap would be perfect. So as you can see, this area really has a lot of mob spawning in it. And I don't really pay attention to the mobs. I go crazy with the torches and just light everything up. If you haven't guessed already, a ravine like this, that looks just like this, is going to take quite some time to light up. So, as much as a water world will help, if there's a ravine like what we have here, you're gonna have quite the problem getting your mobs to spawn. And you know, with these ravines, there's so much areas that these mobs can spawn. There's so many dark areas. And look at this huge room. Just so many areas that these animals can spawn, or mobs, sorry. Just saw 2 creepers right there. Look at a zombie here. Another tunnel. These things just go on forever. Look at that. Another area. It's definitely a bigger challenge in the 1.8 worlds. 100%. There has to be major luck on your side to build a tower somewhere that your tower will be, you know, working great. See, pointless tunnels like this that go nowhere are prime real estate for these mobs. I'm gonna go back up top again. just going upward, we found another area. But I want to continue my venture upward. Okay. So we've lit up quite a bit in area. And we're going to despawn everything. So it's going to be a lot of trial and error. And you've got to be patient to let this work. Don't spend all the time building your mob tower and, coming to realize that, you've got to spend hours and hours finding all the tunnels. Build one layer like I did, and then test to see what happens. Alright, so we're up to a 6. That's great, because before we only had about 4. So we are improving the mob rate. They'll start following soon. Nice skeleton. Okay, so as you can see, the mobs are able to respawn when the number gets to 0. So if you haven't yet, open up your inventory, grab a bed, keep some cobblestone there, and what I like to do is build a small little sleeping area. And do this before you start digging downward. Okay. And when nightfall comes, go to sleep. And that'll save your spawn point here. Why? Because I'll show you right now. Well, actually I don't want to show you yet because my spawn point hasn't saved, and I'll just spawn again from the middle of the field, and I don't want to. So what we have here is a working mob tower. It will continue to spawn the hostile mobs, which is what you want. It'll help you build up your inventory of loot. But as you saw, that big huge ravine, you want to explore that whole thing. You want to go through it and spend all the time lighting that whole thing up. If you don't light that whole thing up, you're going to have problems. You're going to have to go back to 0, but it should go back up. It went to 0 earlier, but it went back up. But if that is the case, and it stays 0, you know what you gotta do. So I will go ahead and end this tutorial for now, and I will leave this map so you can pick it up. I'm gonna wait till it gets nightfall and sleep. That way, if you guys play this map, you'll spawn right here where the bed is, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, I guess that was short-lived. there's still quite a bit of mobs that are spawning in this immediate area. And you see all this land, all that land over there, you're going to want to go over to. Okay, it's coming nightfall, so I'm going to go to sleep. Now my spawn point is saving. What the heck's going on? Okay, so I didn't make it high enough. The good thing is I did go to sleep. Okay. So, like I was saying before, you want to go to this land, which is quite a big area. And you're going to want to start from the very edge. Grab a torch. So that's one edge. Then you go about 6 blocks, maybe 5, and do another line. You want to do this the whole area. What that does is it lights up the whole area and makes it to where mobs can't spawn. Passive mobs are different. They will still spawn. So light up all the land and you'll be good to go. Even these small little islands, they might not seem like much, but mobs will still spawn here. So you want to do the same thing. Just go up, light the whole thing up. Just like that. Make sure you guys spend the time. Oh, see, we did get more to spawn. Now it's back up to 7. So this is still a working mob spawner. It's working great. Just make sure you guys fill up this whole area, and then use your world edit command to copy, build it all the way downward as far as you want, as much as you need, and then you'll be good to go. So hopefully this tutorial was helpful. Hopefully it was descriptive enough to show you guys how to do it all, and I hope you enjoy it. Be sure to thumbs up and subscribe, and if you have any friends that play Minecraft, send them on over. Let them watch this stuff too, and it'd be very appreciated on my end. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Hopefully it wasn't boring, and we'll see you next time.